Hello and welcome back to Sheva Secrets, Na or Nach series. In today's video, we are going to learn about two categories of vowels, Tenu'ot Gedolot versus Tenu'ot Ketanot. Let's dive in. Before we learn the next rule of identifying whether a Sheva is a Sheva Na or a Sheva Nach, we first have to learn about two types of vowels or tenu'ot. There are Tenu'ot Gedolot, which are long vowels, and Tenu'ot Ketanot, which are short vowels. A Tenu'ah means a vowel, Gedolah means long or large, and Ketanah means short or small. Now, as reference, in English, we also have long vowels and short vowels. For example, the letter A can be a long A or a short A. It could be cap or cape. It could be apple or ape. You could have different types of vowels, long vowels and short vowels, that are pronounced differently. In Hebrew, there are also different categories of long vowels and short vowels. And we may not be pronouncing them always differently, but the classification still exists. So looking at the screen, you could see how there are two columns here. There's the blue column, which is the Tenu'ot Gedolot, or the long vowels. And there's the yellow column, which is the Tenu'ot Ketanot, or the short vowels. And you could see they're lined up by A, E, I, O, U. We have a similar grouping. So the A group, you have a kamatz, which is a A sound, is a Tenu'ah Gedolah, a long vowel. And you have a patach, which also makes an A sound, and that is a Tenu'ah Ketanah. Now let's speak about pronunciation for a moment. The kamatz and the patach, probably they were originally not pronounced the same way. It could be that the kamatz is pronounced a little bit longer than the patach is, which is why it's a long vowel versus a short vowel. It could also be about the shape of the mouth. For example, a patach could be more open, whereas a kamatz might be more closed. Patach, kamatz. For our purposes, we're not going to be speaking about the pronunciation of each of these vowels. There are different communities that might be pronouncing them differently, but for us, we're really focused on identifying which one is going to be a Tenu'ah Gedolah versus a Tenu'ah Ketanah, because it's going to make a difference for whether the following letter, if it has a Sheva, if it's going to be a Sheva Na or a Sheva Nach. So while I won't focus on the differentiating between these two types of vowels in each of these rows, for our purposes, we could pronounce them the same, but it's still critical to know which one is a Tenu'ah Gedolah versus a Tenu'ah Ketanah. So for the A, we have a kamatz, which is a Tenu'ah Gedolah. We have a patach, which is a Tenu'ah Ketanah. For the E sound, which we're really pronouncing as you have a tsere. A tsere is the two dots. And sometimes those two dots will be followed by a yud, sometimes not, but a tsere is always going to be a Tenu'ah Gedolah. Or you have a segol. Segol is a Tenu'ah Ketanah. Tenu'ah Ketanah is those three dots that makes a similar S sound, but that's a Tenu'ah Ketanah. Next, let's talk about the E, because this is interesting. You have a chirik. Chirik is a dot underneath the letter that makes an E sound. Now, if that dot, the next letter is a yud, so it's followed by a yud, that yud is actually part of the vowel, making it a chirik maleh. Maleh means full or complete. It is a complete chirik. If it's a chirik, there's a dot underneath it, followed by a yud, and in the word chirik, you could see how there's a dot underneath the chet, and it's followed by a yud. There's a dot underneath the resh, and it's followed by a yud. That yud, it's confusing because you might think it's a consonant. In Hebrew, the letters are usually consonants. But this yud is actually part of the vowel. And it's telling you that this chirik is a chirik maleh versus a chirik chaser. Chaser means empty or missing. It's missing that extra letter. It's a short vowel. That's going to be part of the Tenu'ot Ketanot group, and that's just a dot underneath. So that's how you know whether it's a Tenu'ah Gedolah or Tenu'ah Ketanot, whether there's a yud following it. Now let's move on to the o. For the o, we have a cholam. The cholam is the dot on the upper left of a letter that makes an o sound. Now, this sometimes has a vav underneath it, sometimes doesn't. Both of them are going to be Tenu'ah Gedolah. So whether it's a cholam maleh or a cholam chaser, similar to how we had a chirik maleh, chirik chaser, both of these types of cholams, that dot on the upper left, is going to make it a Tenu'ah Gedolah, versus on the Tenu'ah Ketanah side, we have what's called a kamatz katan. A word about the kamatz katan. This kamatz katan is also pronounced o, similar to our cholam. There's a word called korban. Korban has a kamatz underneath the kuf. It's not pronounced karban, it's korban. That kamatz is a kamatz katan. It is a tenu'ah ketanah, a short vowel, and that has an o sound. Now, in that same word korban, that bet also has a kamatz under it, but that one is the first row that we have on this chart, and that's a Tenu'ah Gedolah. Now, what's confusing here is that you have that same symbol, that same kamatz, that looks exactly the same. Sometimes it's a kamatz gadol, which is a ah sound, that's a Tenu'ah Gedolah, as we have in our top row. And sometimes it's a kamatz katan, which has an o sound that we have here on our o row. How do you know the difference? Perhaps that's inspiration for another video series in the future to distinguish. For the purposes of this series, I will tell you when it's a kamatz gadol versus a kamatz katan so that we could distinguish them. Because our focus is going to be what the categorization of a Tenu'ah Gedolah or Tenu'ah Ketanah, what that tells us for a following Sheva. So for our purposes, I'll tell you when it's a kamatz gadol or a kamatz katan. But it's very important that that symbol, kamatz, depending on whether it's a kamatz gadol, it'll be a Tenu'ah Gedolah, and if it's an o kamatz katan, it's going to be a Tenu'ah Ketanah. Final row of our chart, we have the u sound. U, we have shuruk. Shuruk is a vav with a dot in it, and once again, this vav is not a consonant. It doesn't make the v sound. It's a vowel. It's an u sound. We have this letter that is really supporting the u, and that is a Tenu'ah Gedolah. It is a long vowel versus a kubutz. Kubutz is the three diagonal dots that are underneath the letter that has the same u sound, but that is a Tenu'ah Ketanah. So to recap this chart, moving from top to bottom, you have a Tenu'ah Gedolah in kamatz is a Tenu'ah Gedolah, patach Tenu'ah Ketanah. Sereh Tenu'ah Gedolah, segol Tenu'ah Ketanah. Chirik maleh is a Tenu'ah Gedolah. That's the dot with the yud following it. Chirik chaser is Tenu'ah Ketanah. That's just the dot with no yud following it. Cholam, whether it's an o that has a vav or not, that cholam is a Tenu'ah Gedolah. Kamatz katan, which is a kamatz that makes an o sound, is a Tenu'ah Ketanah. And finally, the shuruk, which is the dot in the vav, that's the u sound, that's a Tenu'ah Gedolah. And a kubutz, the three diagonal dots, is a Tenu'ah Ketanah. What I would recommend is this slide, take a screenshot, print it out, and memorize it. Because for our next lesson, we're going to need to know which category each vowel falls under. So let's look at some examples of these vowels with the letter mem. You can see how in that first row we have a ma with a kamatz in a Tenu'ah Gedolah, ma is a patach, and so on and so forth. What I'll point out, just some small points, you could find in the i, the chirik maleh, you could see it's a dot followed by a yud, that makes it a chirik maleh and it's a Tenu'ah Gedolah, versus the mi on the Tenu'ah Ketanah side, there's no yud afterwards. What you'll also notice is in the o sound, I have mo with the vav and mo without the vav. Both of them are Tenu'ot Gedolot, versus a Tenu'ah Ketanah, which is the kamatz katan. You could see the mem with the kamatz underneath it. It's identical, whether it's in our top row as a Tenu'ah Gedolah or in that fourth row as a Tenu'ah Ketanah. So that you have to learn how to distinguish between those two, but there are two types of kamatz. And once again, I would suggest you screenshot this to memorize the different categories. In our next video, we are going to put all of this information to use. We are going to learn rule number 8, which tells us how to read a Sheva if it is following a Tenu'ah Gedolah versus if it's following a Tenu'ah Ketanah. All of the information we learned today about those classifications will be important background to help us with learning rule number 8. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.